Hey guys, it's Natalie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the rapid fire book tag. I really have to do it because I got tagged not only by BooksbyMary but also by Charm Books. So being tagged by two different people, it would be very, very rude of me not to do this. Plus I want to do this. I think this is a really fun one. So before I get started though, I am going to say who I am tagging, and the way I did this is I went into my subscribers. I looked at who had less than 100 subscribers, so those are people I think are also trying to kind of establish their channels, and this would be an opportunity for them to kind of get out there a little bit more. I went into the accounts of people who had less than 100 subscribers to make sure they hadn't already done this. So there was a few people that you had, so that's why I'm not tagging you once again. I did my homework. So this is who I am tagging. I am tagging The Return Cart, the Half-Blood Ravenclaw, which I would really like to know what that means, a Half-Blood Ravenclaw. Are you Half-Blood something else, like a Gryffindor or a Hufflepuff maybe? Books and Caffeine. I don't want to mess this up. I want to say Gaia Athena. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm so sorry. Middle Shelf, That Blushing Girl, Jess and Her Books. I don't want to mess this one up either. Jamio's View or Jamilo's View. I don't know if those L's make the L sound or the Y sound. Well Read and Half Dead, Bookaholic, My Dusty Books, Made with Books, and the last one is Angie Rose Nomad. So I am tagging all of you guys. So let's get started with the actual questions. And if I didn't mention it before, BooksbyMary and Charm Books, I will put their links down in the description, so you should definitely check them out. I like them a lot. Okay, the first book. I'm so used to talking about books. I'm not talking about books, I'm answering questions. The first question is ebook or physical book? Well, I prefer a physical book, but I will not lie, ebooks really come in handy, especially if you're out of town and there's a book you really need to read, or you don't have a book with you and you just pull up your phone or your laptop and easily go to Amazon and get a book. I do like that, but for the most part, physical books. Paperback or hardback? Paperback if I'm actually going to read it, because I actually 2 days ago had a hardback fall on my face. If you've watched me enough, you know that I read until I fall asleep and the book falls on my face, and I had a hardback fall on my face really hard a couple days ago to the point my eyes were watering and it was really painful. So paperbacks if I'm reading them, but hardbacks I think look prettier on the shelves. Online or in-store shopping? I like to browse in stores, but I don't usually buy a whole lot, but I will hit Amazon or the book outlet and I'm just like click, 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 click. So I definitely buy more books from there. Trilogy or series? I think I definitely go with Trilogy. The only series that really comes to mind would be Harry Potter, that I really, really liked. Heroes or villains? I prefer heroes, but I like my villains to be relatable. And I know this is not a book, but you know how Magneto has that backstory of why he doesn't, like humans, because, his family was in a concentration camp. I like villains where I can completely get why they're villains. So let's see, next question. A book that you recommend to everyone? I think I recommend Night Circus to everybody. In fact, my doctor the other day, what do you like to do again? Oh, I read. Do you have anything you recommend? Yes, you need to read The Night Circus. And he actually stopped me and he started writing it down. So maybe my doctor will read The Night Circus. That would be awesome. Recommend an underrated book. I had to pick this up. I picked up this book, I think, at some kind of a drugstore when I was on a beach trip and I had nothing else to read. And all the other books were like Harlequin romance type books that are not my whole thing. And I saw Marie Antoinette Serial Killer and I went, well, I went to Paris and went to Versailles. So this book was actually shockingly pretty good considering Marie Antoinette is a ghost killing people. I actually was surprised how great this was, considering, what you would expect it to be. So that would be an underrated book. I don't know if anybody else on BookTube has even read this. What do we have next? Last book you finished. I'm going to show you two because I can't remember which one I finished first. So I finished The Dead Queens Club, and I also finished, what is this one called? Clockwork Princess, which is the third book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. So, and I enjoyed both of them. Oh, the last book you bought. I actually went on Amazon last night because I was going back and having conversations with different people who like mystery thrillers, and I ended up ordering a book called The Third Twin and a book called Witchwood. So those would be the last books that I bought. I don't have them yet, but I should have them in a few days. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. The envelope that had my mortgage bill in it, and then I realized when I looked at it, I'm like, ooh, this should not be a bookmark. I should probably pay this if I want to keep my house. All right, there are a lot of questions. Used books, yes or no? Definitely. I like to be able to buy used books because then I don't feel so bad. I like to write in my books, I like to highlight sections that I like. So definitely used books. And I like how Amazon, you can get a lot of used books. Top 3 favorite genres. First would be mystery thriller, no surprise there. I guess second would be young adult, and third would be fantasy. If you have a book that has all 3 of those, let me know. Borrow or buy. Of course, I want to buy books because then you can have them, beautiful on your shelf, but, I don't need to be spending that much money, and I have found that my library is pretty impressive, so I try to borrow as much as I can. Long or short books. Well, it depends. Is it a good story? If it's a good story, then I would like it to be a long book. If it's not such a great story, I'd rather it be a short book. Well, if it's a bad story, it doesn't even matter if it's a short book. I'm probably gonna, D and F for sure. Name 3 books off the top of your head. Okay, Divergent, The Hunger Games, and Cinder, the first one in the Lunar Chronicles. I don't know why that popped in my head. Oh, wait a minute, I missed one. Books that make you laugh or cry. I like comical books, but because so few books make me cry, I guess I prefer ones that do, because you have to have a really good story, a really just heartwarming. I think I mentioned, in my best books of 2018, when I read The Nightingale in the last couple chapters, I was boohoo crying. I was just so touched. So I like to laugh, but definitely cry because there's so few books that make me do that. Our world or fictional world. I like our world, but I like it when it's our world, but we don't know things going on. For example, in my opinion, Harry Potter is happening in our world. We are just not aware that we are muggles and there are witches and wizards out there. So a lot of books will have supernatural elements, but you don't realize it, and in my opinion, they're talking about our world. We just regular humans just don't know what's going on. So that's my answer for that. I hope that made sense. Audiobooks, yes or no? I have not done an audiobook. People keep telling me that I need to try them. So no for right now, but I think I am going to at some point try them just because everybody says they're amazing. And if you guys say they're amazing, I'm going to try them. Do you judge a book by its cover? Well, I won't say that I look at a book and because it has an amazing cover, I immediately go, this is going to be the greatest story ever. But I do have a thing for beautiful covers. So I like beautiful covers, but I wouldn't sit there and say, that's got to be a wonderful story. Its cover is gorgeous. So I guess not. Book to movie or book to TV? Me and my husband talk about this all the time. Book to TV, because a lot of times when you do books to movies, sometimes they do a good job, but a lot of times they can't do but so much because they're trying to take a book that would take anywhere from 6 to 12 hours to read and make it 2 hours, so they have to cut so much out of it. So when they actually have a series, a lot of times they can tell so much more of the, they have so much more of the actual book in there. They're not having to cut characters. So if they can do it and they do it well, I actually prefer if they make it a series. There's a lot of books that when I see the movie, I'm like, they should have made this a series. There's just so much story that they're not telling. A movie or TV show you prefer to its book. Okay, even though I love this book, I think the TV series was amazing, so I'm going to say Big Little Lies, because of course it had my favorite Reese Witherspoon, and it had Nicole Kidman, it had Zoe Kravitz, and they took a book that I already loved and made it come to life, and I think they did a great job with it. If you have not seen Big Little Lies, you have definitely got to check it out. It has a second season that's coming pretty soon. And the last one is series or standalone. I'm going to say standalone since I read a lot of mystery thrillers. Sometimes with series, I'll read the first book and I'll like it, but I won't like it so much to go to the next book. It has to be a really, really good book for me to want to continue. So I guess I would say Standalone. Yeah, Standalone. All right, that's all I have for the rapid fire book tag. I will try to post this as soon as possible. I'm getting ready to film my box openings of my LitJoy and my Owl Crate. I'm actually filming like 4 different videos today, but I'm not going to upload them all today. I like to film a bunch of videos and then just kind of upload one every few days. So thanks for watching, and if I tagged you, I really hope you do this. All right, bye guys. Real quick, guys, I wanted to clear something up. When I said who I was going to tag, and I said I went into my subscribers and picked people who had less than 100 subscribers, I'm talking about people who their subscriptions are public. I don't know if everybody realizes you actually have to go in and make your subscriptions public for someone to know that you have subscribed to their channel. The default is private, and you actually have to change. So if you're thinking, I subscribe to her channel, I have less than 100 people, I haven't done this tag, that's weird, why wasn't I tagged? It's probably because your subscriptions are on private, which is fine if you want your subscriptions to be on private, but if you want your subscriptions to be public, you do have to actually go in and change it, and I'm sure if you do that, then your name will pop up on my list so that I will know if you want to do tags. I did not know in the start that was the default. I had to go in and change mine, so I think a lot of newbies don't realize that the subscriptions are on a default to be private. You have to physically go in and make them public if you want your subscriptions to be public, meaning that when you subscribe to a channel, you want that person to get a notification that you have subscribed, or when that person pulls up their subscriber list, you want them to see your name on that list. So I just wanted to let people know that because I didn't know if everybody did. All right, now I'm done.